Good afternoon, good evening, or good night, and maybe good midnight to from anywhere you are listening and joining this session today. Uh, Welcome again, and thank you for being here in the second session of the course that you have registered already. Again, today I'm here not to give you something, but to ask and put some questions in front of you so that later on after the session or during the session you might uh, get curious and find solutions and answer to the questions that I want to put today before the speakers begin his session. So the first question, like as a teacher, uh, have you ever thought and have you ever asked this question to yourself that being a teacher, am I evolving with the suitable pace in which the technology or the pedagogy is changing? Am I changing myself with the pace of the world? Am I faster than it or slower than this? So that is the first question. And this is, yeah, it's a really simple question, but I would say it's an honest question which resonates with the real world scenarios today. Because teaching is not about giving the content to your students. Content is available anywhere on the internet, books or anywhere. But the true role of a teacher is like, when you go somewhere, you have Google Maps. So it's like navigation. So you are a navigator for the student in terms of the use of technology, pedagogy, and then making connections among the learners or a teacher-learner relationship and so on. So I just want to give you an insight before the session begins formally by the speaker. And I hope that you would have heard with the word TPACK. But here, if we imagine teaching 30 years or 40 years ago, we see that there is something like the good teacher was the one who has a good command on the subject matter, the subject knowledge, which we call content. Like just providing the content to a student, you might be like a good teacher in the past days, 30 years ago or 40 years ago, or maybe in some countries 10 years ago. But today, as the world is changing, we don't just need content. We needed something from the methodology. Content is what you teach, but then you need how you teach, that is pedagogy, methodology. And the third thing today we will be discussing, that is technology, that how you pick these two things, the content, the pedagogy, and how you connect both of these with the help of technological tools. So there is a model, and let me share the screen so you would have a better idea by just having some graphics in front of you. So here, if you can, is it visible to all of you? Hello?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Okay, so we have the content. So the content knowledge, I'm sorry for it's like midnight and my throat is not well. So the content knowledge that you have, and it relates to your subject. And a teacher, like it's necessary. It is a must thing that you would be fluent in what you are teaching. You must be having enough knowledge, and you can prepare from the night or whatsoever it is. But in many countries, it has been observed that the content knowledge is not that much important as compared to the methodology. Like, okay, you are having bachelor's degree or master's degree in the specific subject. That's it. But proof that you are a teacher, you can teach it as well. Like what happens in third world countries that, for example, if I hold a degree in biology or any subject, it means that if I hold a bachelor's degree, a 4-year bachelor's degree, or a 2-year master's degree, I'm eligible for teaching. But then that is not the case in the second world countries. What is the case is you have this degree, so it is obvious that you are having a command on this subject, but you don't have a degree from education, pedagogy, you don't know how to teach, how to convey the content that you are carrying in your mind from your subject. So the second thing comes here, that is pedagogy, and we call it PK, pedagogical knowledge. So how you teach it, the methodology that you follow, is it is it the methodology that is being appreciated by the learners, by the stakeholders, by the market in which you are teaching, and so on? And does this methodology hold the position which can fulfill the needs of tomorrow, the needs of the learners in today's age as well, and so on? So these are the basic questions. Number third thing that we have, that is technology, and we call it technological knowledge. So we have CK, content knowledge, pedagogical knowledge, and technological knowledge. Then if we look at the diagram, it is like basically a Venn diagram. So we see that there is some emerging area between the CK and PK, this area, I mean. And you can see it now. So if we combine the content with pedagogy, it becomes pedagogical content knowledge. Because now we are focusing on methodology, the content or the subject matter, with both of these, how they can go hand by hand. Like, again, if we look at the Venn diagram, we have content. So content have overlapping area with the technology, similar with the case of the pedagogy, right? So here again, you can see it, which is called technological content knowledge, TCK, right? So how you relate your content, how can you connect this thing, the content, the subject matter, with technology, the tools that you are having, like in modern age. Okay, if we say technology, what comes to your mind? What does it mean? Like, technology means what? So in the past days, for example, technology might be just having a projector in the classroom for multimedia classroom, like, I mean, PPT, PowerPoint, right? Are some basic tools. Nowadays, technology means generative AI, multimodal literacies, lesson designing with multimodal literacies and digital literacy and so on. But what this technology, this T will bring tomorrow, that is really, really blurred, and we don't know. So that is the challenge. So content combining with technology, content combining with pedagogy. So pedagogical content knowledge, we have technological content knowledge. And number third area here, if we look at the Venn diagram again, so pedagogical knowledge overlaps with technological knowledge in this area. So this is pedagogical technological knowledge, or technological pedagogical knowledge, TPK. Now, if we combine all these things, content, pedagogy, technology, or in the other words, subject matter, methodology, and AI or generative AI tools, all these things, there is another area in the very middle of this Venn diagram where we can see that all these three overlaps here. This may be called technological, pedagogical content knowledge, because we are combining all these three. So this is really important in this age. And if you want to study about this thing and you want to understand this in more detail, there is a book. I am recommending this one, A Handbook of Technological Pedagogical Content Knowledge for Educators. And there is another one for educators, which is written by Professor Dr. Joo-Seong Lee, and I think he shared it with you. I mean the name. But again, dear course takers, of course, we'll provide the material, but I was a bit occupied these 2 weeks, so I couldn't share the materials that I wanted to share with you. So maybe in the next week, I will share all the materials that are related to the previous session, Dr. Joo-Seong Lee session, his relevant books, his relevant articles, and I will also share this book with you in PDF. So stay tuned there. So again, when we talk about the technological pedagogical content knowledge, so today's session will be about the tools from technology, from AI, which can help you in the classroom. as a teacher, which can make your classroom not boring, but more interesting for the learners. So let me share something like the framework, the platform of, in fact, the TalentQuest. I still remember like exactly 3 years ago, when I was teaching in a public sector university in Pakistan as a visiting faculty member, and I was, I think, the youngest one among the faculty members with no experience in the higher education, and I was just selected based on my academic performance, I would say. So when I went there, I asked myself some questions. Maybe some of my students are here in this session. Maybe Salman, the great guy, I would say, the founder of Mindscape, he is one of my students. So I asked some questions, like I asked myself some questions, and there is a dilemma that teachers around the globe, how they can connect, how they can collaboratively discuss things, and how can they grow together. Because we're not provided enough training for the teaching. We're just provided with the content. I have this content, so I can teach it. No, that is not the case. You have to be fluent with the methodology, how to teach. That was from pedagogical content, right? But in today's age, we need to work on artificial intelligence. And I know, like, among the faculty members, I was the first one who introduced ChatGPT in the classroom when it came in November 2022. And most of the professors, they were like hesitant, and they couldn't use it, and they were like creating obstacles to the students, and they were telling the student, don't use it. It's not good. It takes your creativity, blah blah. And this, if you have creativity, show that how can you use an AI tool with creativity. That is the demand of the day. Don't divide it. If it has ethical concern, it has creativity issues with you, and a lot of more issues, I would say, there are. But it doesn't mean that you should not get benefited with something that has negatives, that has cons. So this question led to this platform, TalentQuest. And this is the first course that my team launched with the Mindscape. Thank you to that team as well. And in the future, we will try to come up with something more interesting and more targeted for English teachers specifically. This course is not for English teachers specifically, but for all. But in the next one, we are hoping it around October maybe. So this was like for the teacher support, their collaboration, and specifically how can they use digital tools and digital literacies in their classrooms. So the main goal of TalentQuest was, like, you may say, a new kind of teacher. The book that I just talked about, the TPACK handbook by Misra, they discussed they're a teacher. Her name is Carmelina. And Carmelina, her attributes are: she is reflective, she is adaptive, she is tech-integrated teacher of 21st century. So I wish that we all teachers have these qualities that the teacher in the book, Carmelina, holds these qualities. I wish, and that is my dream. And yeah, we will work for this. Because we cannot replace the teachers. That is like the teachers, or a teacher is no longer the sole source of knowledge. It is stated in the book, I would say. And the teacher is the architect, the navigator for the learning experience, and the person who can make his learner or her learners to believe that they can learn in a better way. So the AI conversation, the generative AI, and a lot of things, like nowadays we're working with Moody AI. You might have heard this name. And yeah, I just got something in my mind. And we also launched another course from my university here with the collaboration with Tuflin, which is an organization in Indonesia. And that course is specifically for English teachers, TPACK AI for educators, not for English teachers, but I would say for social subjects and arts and humanities. So I will also ask permission from them if I don't know, because we designed it for the Indonesian-based teachers. If they permit me, I will share the link with you. It is available on the Canvas website, and you can get benefited with that course for free. Because it's also for resonate with the today's theme of the session. So the today's session, you are learning your way, and I don't wanna take much of your time, but I'm not sure whether the speaker has joined the session or not yet. If she has, I will just ask Miss Anika to confirm.
Yes, sir. She just joined.
Okay, so dear audience, stay tuned, stay energetic, stay fresh, and try to learn more and more. And I will just hand over the session to the MC, Miss Anika Hassan, to invite and introduce and invite our speaker. Thank you.
All right. Without further ado, Ms. Muntaha Waseem, you may initiate your session. Ms. Muntaha Waseem, the stage is yours.
Thank you so much. I was trying to unmute this, but as the rights are not. Okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Muntaha Waseem, and today I'm going to talk about very interesting topic. First, let me share my screen with you all. And side by side, I just want to give you my introduction that I'm a PhD student studying in Hungary right now and working on climate change education. And I have been with Mindscape for the past last month. We have already completed one of our educational nexus. I don't know if you people were part of that nexus, but today I am going to talk about independent learning. First, let me share my screen. Any one of you, please let me know if my screen is visible to you all or not.
Yes, ma'am. We can
Am
see
I
it.
audible?
You're audible.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Is it visible?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So today, as I told you that I'm going to talk about very interesting topic, and it is really interesting for me because throughout my life, I did independent learning apart from my, yes, apart from my streamline education. But first, we need to understand, like our topic is your learning your way, right? Digital tools for independent education, which is very important nowadays. So first we need to understand what is independent education. So if we look at the definition of independent learning or independent education, it means that learning outside of a traditional classroom or school setting, right? So instead of depending entirely on teachers or a fixed curriculum, any individual might take responsibility of their own learning. This could be done through reading, like online courses maybe, or you can explore topics on their own about self-directed or self-motivated learning. So you can think of it like being the driver of your own learning car, right? You decide the route, destination. So second thing, why is this important today? Like this independent education and independent learning is important today. So you see, in today's fast changing world, the ability to learn on your own is extremely valuable. Like this self-motivation, self-learning is very important nowadays, because independent education helps you build, helps you self-motivated. You can push yourself to learn new things, and it also builds adaptability. You can adjust to new tools and ideas quickly, very quickly. And then the most important thing, like lifelong learning skills, which I have learned through my independent learning. Like, you keep learning throughout your life, not just in the schools. You are not bounded by the traditional methods. You can learn whatever you want to learn. So this is really useful in this modern job market, where we see new skills are always in demand. So it also helps you grow personally. So I think for me, independent education is about becoming an active learner, and it definitely gives you such freedom, or it connects you to a global pool of knowledge. And it is not just about learning more; it's about learning better. So, and you have seen that independent learning has now uh, grown rapidly in recent years due to advancements in technology. All of us have gadgets. All of us have internet on our mobiles. So we have increased number of internet access, and the demand for flexible education is there. So learners today are, you see, no longer limited to just classrooms. They can access knowledge through online courses, educational apps. You have observed, you have been a part of those, um, you know, technologies and digital resources. You can have access to these technologies or digital resources anytime, anywhere, because you all know that digital tools make learning more available and convenient. You don't have to be in the classroom, or even in the same country as your teacher, right? So you can study anytime, like morning or night, whatever your time is, from anywhere, from home, bus, or park. Like, I have taken my online classes while doing, while traveling, or while in the train, or while maybe if I went outside for shopping, maybe. So I took my classes there. So, and you can follow your own schedules. So if you have internet, and you can, you can learn at your own pace, even if you are far away from your school or have a busy life. Not the school, but your institutions, like your universities, or some institutions, learning institutions. And I think we all have experienced this kind of study, this kind of learning in our life, especially in the pandemic era. So you see, everyone learns differently. Like, some of us learn best by seeing, and others by listening, and some by doing hands-on activities. So we have all kind of digital tools that can help all these types of offering. We have visual learners. So for visual learners, we have videos. For audio learners, auditory learners, we have podcasts or audio. We have books in podcasts now, and then interactive activities or games for hands-on learning. And I usually learn by games more, and by videos maybe. So, and our professors, like being a PhD student, our professor has given us video, materials for learning. So this means that we can choose the kind of material that works best for us. And some tools are smart, and they adapt to your needs. And these are called, adaptive learning technologies. Now, for challenge students, maybe, or for everyone, like every person, every individual has its own needs. So these kind of adaptive learning technologies, they check how well students are doing, and or how well the person is doing, and then they just change the level of difficulty, and they suggest new topics to study. These kind of applications or interactive technologies, and they help you learn in a way that fits your pace and thinking style. So it's like having a tutor that understands how you learn and guides you step by step. We have right now one of the platform, we have ChatGPT, in which we just add our prompt. We just give the prompt according to our need, and it will give us the answer accordingly. So basically, there are a lot of key benefits of these independent learning and benefits of digital tools. Like, it allows us to learn at how we can learn according to our speed. Like, we have personalization, collaboration, accessibility, and progress tracking. This means that we don't have to rush through lessons. Like, we can spend more time on one thing, maybe if we don't understand that, or maybe if we find it difficult. So we can spend more time on that, and we can move quickly through things when we already understand those topics. So it's like having the freedom to learn on your own terms, with no pressure, with no strict timelines, with no traditional boundaries. And if, like, with the internet, we have access of millions of learning materials. You have seen all those in your study tenure, study domain. You have seen videos, articles, online courses, maybe research papers if you are in the university, and you can find accessibility of such things online. So what will these do? So this helps us basically that we can explore topics from different point of view. Like, being a PhD student, I am researching a lot of things free from different platforms, online platforms. And it is, I think, my habit, or then apart, uh, if it counts in the PhD education. So maybe I am bound to it. Like, I have to research, I have to read so many papers, so many research papers, so many articles. So I have found all these through different platforms uh, which we have on internet. So this will help us to explore topics from different point of view, and then we go beyond what's taught in the classroom. And now you don't really have to rely on traditional methods. You can find reliable sources to understand, or to deepen your understanding, or you are no longer I think limited to just textbooks or just one teacher. Like, I have experienced this kind of thing uh, in my previous days when I was in my school or college. We don't have internet access and things, but now, as we have technological boom, so we have so much accessibility and freedom in terms of learning, especially from the digital tools. So you see, there is a whole new world of knowledge out there. It's upon just on us, or on you people, that if you are self-motivated, if you are um, motivated to learn on your own, so you can just utilize those things, those gadgets, for your own benefit. And I think these tools makes our learning more enjoyable. And I personally enjoyed a lot and stay motivated. And I have developed interest in these kind of tools, and it keep me motivated and connected with my studies. So you see, when you feel like your learning is kind of exciting, so you stay focused and you want to keep going. And I think this is the magic of this digital learning, which I have experienced. Um, okay, now I would like to share some amazing digital tools that can really help you become more independent and confident learners. And by profession, I am a teacher, and I did approximately 5 years of teaching in private educational sector of Pakistan. So for me, these tools really help me a lot in my classrooms. So one of the most powerful tools, as you all know, that is Google Classroom, and it works like a digital school where all our assignments, grades, and our feedbacks are in one organized place. And second is peer deck. We have peer deck, which makes lessons interactive and fun. And it works with Google Slides and PowerPoint. Like it can turn your lessons into quizzes and games where you can answer in real time. And it also gives you immediate feedback and even sends you personal notes from each lesson to help you review. You can review these feedbacks later. And then the next is Prodigy Math. It's basically a game-based platform that turns math practice into an exciting adventure, and it's really amazing as you play. The difficulty adjusts based on how you are doing, so it's always matches your level. So you get instant feedback on answers, and your maybe teacher can see your progress in real time using the dashboard. So, and of course, I have also mention Khan Academy. It's a completely free resource with video lessons on almost every subject from maths to science to history. And I have recommend those lessons or those videos to my secondary or higher secondary students. And, everyone can learn at their own pace and they can practice as much as they need. So I think, and yes, beyond these big names, there are hundreds of other free tools that support every subject. Being a teacher, I think you have encountered or maybe being a student, you have encountered so many amazing interactive tools, digital tools, which you are using in your own way, and you are learning through those technologies, through those applications in your own way. So I think, and by time, new ones are being created, all the time, day by day. There is a technological boom. So we hope for the best for our students, for ourselves, for our next generation. And yes, here's the exciting part. Like you get more voice and choice in how you learn. As I have earlier told you, that you can access your own progress using self-check tools like build a digital portfolio, or you can show how much you have grown and choose the format or order you want to study in. Like for me, I am being a PhD student, I'm using MT. MT, it's a software that record all my references which I have used in my research paper. So it is very, beneficial for me, and it's part of my education now that I am using it throughout my, PhD journey maybe. So, you can utilize any digital tool for your own learning. You can even pick your own project topics and create unique learning experiences that match your interest. Okay, now I would like to talk about some of the challenges we might face when learning independently using these digital tools. So first, there's something called digital overwhelm. What does that mean? Like, this means that, or this happens when there are too many applications or websites or tools, um, like all with different layouts and different setups and designs and everything. And a person can get confused, and you can make it hard to figure out where to start or what to use. So it is kind of challenging. Like we have so many at this time. It's just a simple example. If you want to crop your, for example, picture or video or trim it, or maybe you can edit it. So you can find a lot of applications for that particular job. So sometimes it gets confusing, like how to figure out where, what to use or where to start from. And second, we have access inequality. Like not every student, you all know that, has a strong internet connection or a good device at home. Being a Pakistani, I have lot being an in low social things that students in those areas, like from low socioeconomic backgrounds or from low socioeconomic schools, they have not been given to such kind of accessibility. So you see, some of the students may have trouble joining online classes, and we have seen this in the pandemic era. Like if 4 or 5 kids are in the family, so and there is just one or maybe two mobile phones, and there is unstable internet connection, so it might be, it not might be a challenge, but it is a challenge which our people are facing right now. So, and then some of the students, have trouble joining online classes using certain tools, and we all aware of that. And another issue is self-discipline. Like when you are learning on your own, so it's very easy to get distracted, right? I think you have experienced this during your studies, that you are easily distracted from your education or from your learning. Without a teacher, I think sometimes physically, if you don't have a teacher physically present to guide you, it is very hard to manage your time or staying focused. So it can sometimes be difficult. And lastly, there is digital fatigue, which means that spending too much time in front of a screen, can make you feel tired, bored, or even stressed. Like you have seen so many things. As I did my graduation in information technology in 2012. So I have experienced that I have spent so much like my time on typing and sitting in the same position. So my whole body is in so much stress. And so this might be a challenge, or this might be the, hurdle for digital learning. So I think the screen burnout can lower our ability to concentrate, and it will affect how well we learn. So I have experienced this as well. But you can overcome all these challenges of digital independent learning. So now I would like to talk about those solutions and best practices, like which I have experienced, and then I overcome all these throughout my, it doesn't come overnight, but little by little, step by step, I have, succeeded. So first best practice or first smart solution is curate your toolkit. What does that mean? This means that you don't try to use every application or website out there. Instead, choose a small number of useful tools that work well together and cover your need or what you need. If you are not sure where to start from, I think you need to ask from your teachers, or go for suggestions from your family or from your friend, anywhere and from around you. Talk to the person who is more relevant, so they'll know which tools are reliable and easy to use. And one thing you need to remember, that it's better to use a few good tools really well than to get overwhelmed by too many. Yeah, don't go for, okay, I have to use this, I need to learn this, that, this. No, you just need to pick one and stay focused and learn from that particular application. And second thing, it's um, most important is to establish your routine. So you need to create a regularity or regular schedule for your independent work. It is very important for you, and I did the same thing. Like, you need to set aside specific times each day for online learning, and you have to take the break in between. So it will help you avoid screen fatigue. You need to just, if you are spending 1 hour in writing your assignment or doing work online, so after 1 hour you need to get up, go, or maybe walk or eat something or drink some fresh juice or whatever. So you need to take a break. So this will help you avoid screen fatigue and keeps your mind fresh. And the third thing is to make sure to seek balance. Like, learning doesn't have to happen only on screens, right? You need to try to combine digital tools and maybe offline activities, like writing a notebook, doing hands-on projects, or maybe creating posters. So you can learn either way, not only just from the digital tools. You can utilize offline activities as well for your learnings, and this will keeps you motivated and helps you stay on track. Okay, let's quickly wind up this. So we beginning of AI and personalization. So where technology becomes even more smarter and more personalized just for you people, and day by day it's becoming writing or development is this AI tutors, like I have talked about ChatGPT, or we have different platforms which are usually called the smart tutors. And I think these are very smart learning systems that understand how you are doing in real time. And if you are struggling with the topic, they can slow down and explain it in a new way. If you have given such a prompt that, okay, I don't understand this lesson, or I need to understand in this way, so they will explain you in a certain way in which you can understand. So I think if you are doing well, they'll move you ahead faster. It's like having a personal tutor who always knows exactly what you need. And next, we have this VR and AR experiences that stands for virtual reality and augmented reality. So you can, I think, imagine exploring the inside of a volcano. Um, if you have experienced this kind of technology, um, walking through ancient cities. I have experienced this, and I have played games through these kind of VR technologies. So you can conduct science experiments all in the 3D environments, and these tools, can make learning hands-on and super engaging, even if you are just sitting in your room. So you can make your learning experiences so you can make your learning more interesting, and you can have you can just enjoy your learning in your own way, in your own time, in your own room, maybe in home. And finally, I think with the help of this AI, artificial intelligence, students or maybe any individual on this planet can follow custom learning pathways. Like, this means that the system suggests lessons and activities based on our strengths, our weaknesses, and our interest. And right now, I know in Pakistan, especially, we have this technological, we are integrating these technologies into our classrooms and learn in a new way. We have introduced different teaching methodologies and mm, different learning styles. So maybe one day I'm hoping for the best that we can achieve in their classrooms, in their institutions. So I think uh, your education journey becomes unique to you. So conclusively, I must say that your learning journey is unique. And it's important for you all to find such tools that match your own style, whether you learn best by watching, reading, or maybe learn by doing. So, but you need to start discovering different tools that fits how you learn, and then customize these tools that just to they suit you. So it suits your personal needs so that your digital learning setup works best for you. And you need to remember one thing that learning is stronger when you connect with others, right? So when you join communities or groups where you can share your ideas and get support, so you'll learn more this way. And finally, I think stay open to change because new tools and methods keep emerging. And uh, once my professor has told me that this degree, this education which we are learning right now, it has a shelf life, like maybe after 6 years, it will be of no use. Like it is just a piece of paper. Your degree is just a piece of paper if you do not learn new skills. So you are of no use to the world. So you need to get yourself motivated. You need to get yourself interacted with the new ways. Like I have done my graduation in 2012 in information technology, and after that I have switched my fields to education, and I did my BA, MA, and then MPhil in education. So right now, if I'm looking at the technological side, maybe yes, I know in terms of designing. Right now I know the eye of information technology because it's completely changed when I see different students are learning, the students of computer sciences, and so when they talk, I understand their language, that okay, they are talking about this thing, they are talking about this thing. But as I left this information technology and continue education as my field. So, it's very hard for me to understand now the digital technologies, maybe, or different coding schemes or different things in information technology. So yes, if I did my, if I continue my journey towards this information technology, I might learn new skills. I might learn the updated version of all these things. So I might know everything. But right now, as I'm purely of shifted towards this education part and the administration and how we can change our educational system, as I am very disappointed with our educational system. I don't know why, but it's just yes, we need to change it. Um, Either way, I just want to conclude all this that what I was telling you, that you need to um, learn when you connect. So you need to join communities or groups where you can share ideas, and you need to get support from your family or maybe friends or your circle, and you need to open to change. Yes, I was on that you need to open for change because new tools and methods are keep emerging, and by updating, I think your approach over time, you'll keep improving and making your learning journey truly your own, and you can learn from your journey. So thank you so much for today's session.
Thank you so much, Ms. Muntaha, for such a thoughtful and engaging
If you
session.
have any questions regarding this, you are free to ask. The floor is yours.
All right. Thank you so much, Ms. Muntaha, for such a thoughtful and engaging session. You've
Very
given us
welcome.
valuable insights and practical
Somebody
ideas for
has
embracing a more learner-centered approach. We now have time for the questions, so if any of the attendees would like to speak, feel free to raise your hand and unmute when prompted, or drop your question in the chat box, and I'll be happy to read it aloud for your speaker, or the speaker can read it for herself as well. So we have Ismail Shahzad. Your hand is up. You may unmute your mic. Ismail Shahzad. You may ask your question.
I think Ghazia Bukhari wants to ask a question.
All right.
Hello, hello.
Yes, yes.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
Ismail.
Ma'am, I want to ask that, especially in Pakistan and rural areas, how can we apply or implement this online learning? Because the students always misuse the online
Online
methodology.
platforms.
Yes, ma'am.
This is where our awareness campaigns will need to work, because not from the start. Like if I'm talking about myself,
Yes.
I do not, like, from the start, from the beginning, I do not use those applications for my learning only. It will come day by day. After, when I start working, then I need to stay focused on my studies, then I need to work on that. Then sometimes, like, kabhi aisa bhi hota tha कि I was doing my work, I was doing my assignment, and I was so tired and bored, so I was just open a game. And
Yes, ma'am.
I don't know the time I spent on games, like 4 or 5 hours doing that game. I don't know why this happens, but I think this comes over time when you feel कि हाँ भाई ये तो काम खराब हो रहा है, आपने अपना पढ़ना है या आपने अपनी आगे पढ़ाई करनी है. What's more important for you? What is your priority? So it will come over time. So for the junior students, I think जो हमारे स्कूल लेवल के स्टूडेंट्स हैं, जो हमारे कॉलेज लेवल के स्टूडेंट्स हैं, it is very hard for them to stay motivated or stay on the track. So
Yes, ma'am.
they definitely need a supervision from their parents, from the elder ones in the family. So it's not
Yes,
about
ma'am.
rural or urban areas. It's about I think ये जो हमारा age group है, it comes with that. ये rural और urban की तो जंग है ही नहीं. Those who have
Yes.
access to applications, those who have learning materials, even the offline materials, not
मैम
just.
मैंने पर्सनली जो ऑब्जर्व किया है ना, तो अर्बन वाले फिर भी थोड़े से सिविलाइज होते हैं, हमारे वाले ये बिल्कुल बस मिसयूज. टिकटॉक पे जाओ तो बिल्कुल उनको मजा आता है, फेसबुक पे मजा आता है, लेकिन ऑनलाइन लर्निंग में उनकी बस फिर जान जाती है. तो यही मैं बस पूछना चाह रहा था कि हाउ टू अप्लाई दिस.
हाँ, तो
लेकिन बिल्कुल आपकी बात बिल्कुल ठीक है, जूनियर्स के लिए ये ज्यादा अच्छा नहीं है.
एग्जैक्टली. जूनियर्स हो या सीनियर्स हो, लाइक आई हैव एक्सपीरियंस दिस. जैसे मैं अभी इधर हंगरी में हूँ, यहाँ पे हमारे जो जो यहाँ के स्कूल्स हैं, ये फ्रॉम द वेरी बिगनर लेवल, ये यहीं से ही इनको टेक्नोलॉजी और एप्लीकेशंस और वो सारी चीजें इनको पढ़ाई बताई जाती हैं, जो शायद मैंने यहाँ पाकिस्तान में अपने यूनिवर्सिटी लेवल में भी नहीं पढ़ी होगी शायद, या वो टेक्नोलॉजी
बिल्कुल.
यूज नहीं की होगी जो वहां पे एक स्कूल लेवल के अंदर वहां पे यूटिलाइज हो रही है. एंड फ्रॉम द वेरी स्टार्ट उनको ये बताया जाता है कि इसका क्या यूज है, इसके क्या बेनिफिट्स हैं, एंड इस लाइक how we can use this platform and for what. So it's a matter of awareness, maybe from the very
एग्जैक्टली.
childhood. They are explaining them that, okay, like I have seen such kind of students in the classroom in the graduation at the graduation level, those who does not even use chat GPT for their assignments. They said it's a kind of cheating. So we need to do our assignments on our own. So what do you think?
Yes.
Why they have such kind of mindset? So they already have, I think, such kind of awareness from their early childhood. So we have to, work very hard. So if you have learned such kind of things in these kind of platforms, so I suggest that you all, not just you, Ismail, but uh, all of us have to, aware our surroundings. Like maybe we have children in our home, maybe we have different university or college students, our relatives, our cousins, everyone. So we need to get them aware that, okay, if you have such kind of gadgets, such kind of facilities, such kind of learning resources, so how can you utilize those kind of resources in your own, for your own good?
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely right. And thank you very much for your kind.
Thank you so much. Sayyid Suhaib Hassan, I think you may have a question. Muhammad Waseem.
Yes, ma'am. I have a single question, but it comprises three parts.
Mm-hmm.
As we know that education is its main purpose is to achieve national aims. How can we achieve in independent learning our national aims? This is the first part of my questions. And at the same time, when a student comes in the class with independent learning and have digital access, so at the same time we are facing a hyper comparison situation in classroom, in which when a student came with digital access in a classroom and other students don't have access, so how can we meet hyper comparison situation in the classroom? Third part is related to the ethics. How can we make ethic learnings in independent learning?
Your first question is, how can we achieve?
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry.
When we talk about the independent learning,
Mm-hmm.
independent means student learn at their own.
At their own, exactly.
So how can
How
we
can we
achieve?
achieve this in our classrooms or in our mainstream education?
Uh, if I mold my question, then
Mm-hmm.
I think convey more easily. As you know that curriculum has some particular aims.
Exactly. Yes, yes, yes,
So
yes.
when we make student independent learner,
Mm-hmm.
how can we mold them? How can we compel them to achieve that curriculum aims in independent learning?
Well, here the most important role has to play from the teacher's side. Like, because in our traditional schooling methods, students are not encouraged for independent learning. This is what I have seen and what I have observed throughout my teaching career. And not just only during my teaching career, but being a researcher, when I visited so many schools, and not even the low socioeconomic background schools, but from the elite, schools of, I think, Karachi. I belong to Karachi, so I visited such schools for my research work. So I have seen traditional methods, although they have the elite schools, the good private schools here have digital technologies integrated into their classrooms. But apart from that, not every teacher encourages students in the classrooms for independent learning. They are, I don't know what kind of phenomena our teachers are using, that they have one thing in their minds, that we have to just fulfill this curriculum by the end of the year, and we have to complete our report, and we have to do um, we have to complete this syllabus for the students. Students do not read in the classrooms. They have been given a lot of work, a writing work, and copy paste it. So it's just a rote learning. For me, it's just a rote learning. Students, even in the O level sections, uh, apart from this Sindh or federal board, we have O level learners here, and they are the same. I don't know how I just segregate those students from the others, but I think in our educational system, rote learning is more encouraged than independent learning. That is why, if you have seen such kind of students in your secondary, maybe, or higher secondary sections, if you have asked any student, like for example, if you asked 11th grade student to write an essay of any topic, so he or she is lame on that, oh, I don't have sentences to write about this, or I don't have knowledge to write about this, because they are not encouraged to, you know, um, uh, have this self-paced learning, self-motivated learning. But right now, our government is doing, like, we have such kind of projects, NGO-based projects, those who are doing on that part, those who are doing this self-motivated or self-paced learning from the very beginning. They started from the very beginning, like from grade 1, they encourage students. So yes, we have names, but it's like human in mouth of camel. I think it's very small, like it's maybe a 1% or 0.5% of the whole nation. So we have to work very hard to get our educational system, in a proper way. And Muhammad Waseem, what was your next question? Like, first is how can we achieve this curriculum goal or objective, but what was your next question? Are you with us? Um, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Okay. Okay, then Qazia Bukhari, I think you have a question. You can ask. Hmm. Alicia, if you want to ask, you can please pursue.
Hello, ma'am. Hope you're fine.
Alhamdulillah, I'm good. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. I have a question. How we can aware our student related to AI technologies and ChatGPT? If we tell them ChatGPT how we make assignments and presentations with the help of AI or technology, and but they did not follow, they will thinking like that teacher could help us in this way. What is the use of teacher if we can use AI? So can you please brief it how we can explain this theory to our students?
Well, as you already stated that you are telling your students, if you are using ChatGPT, I think teachers have known about this, that known about their students, that okay, if the student has used ChatGPT to complete their assignments or not. So there is this sixth sense which teachers has, but on the other, apart from this sixth sense, I think we need to guide our students about this. Yes, I remember Muhammad Waseem's second question about ethical consideration of ethics in our educational system, that how our students um, avoid the use of ChatGPT in their assignments. So I think first we need to um, tell them that, okay, if you are using this kind of material, or if you are using copying or using ChatGPT kind of platforms for doing your assignment, so it will or if you get caught from, like, we have different kinds of platforms which detect AI assignments. I know teachers don't have such kind of access to those because such platforms are paid, and some institutions, schools, or maybe universities does not give access to the teachers. But then yes, we have these kind of platforms, those who detect AI transformation. If a student get caught, so you can tell them beforehand, before giving the assignment, that okay, if you get caught using these kind of platforms to complete your assignment, so you could have such kind of consequences which could be negative for your educational career. So I think you need to tell them in a proper way, or from the very early stages, that this is good, that ChatGPT is good for teachers. ChatGPT or ChatGPT self automated platforms are good for teachers, for good for students and everyone. But you have such kind of boundaries that if you use this, and if you got caught by using this, so you have to face these kind of consequences. So you need to just talk to your students, or discuss this with your students. So it's up to them to use it or not to use it, because this is what I have experienced, that if I um, when I was going through their assignments, if my students are doing this using ChatGPT platforms or using any kind of platforms, so it is very easy to caught them. And then, yes, we have different kind of assignments as well. Like, for example, if a computer science student has some coding, or a maths, if you have maths homework, so you cannot, you know, caught your students. But then again, in the exams, like, you have some kind of formative assessments or summative assessments in your classrooms throughout the year. So you can easily know, like, what kind of student have learned what kind of things and through what. So it's I think complicated and challenging, the either way, for teachers and students as well. But it is I think, Alicia, it's more of uh, I think it's more of a transparency kind of thing, that you can just teach your students. You cannot you just teach them, you guide them, you just get them self-aware about these kind of ethical guidelines, and that's it. And you cannot do anything more about it. You are not a police, you are not a jailer who just stand in top of their heads that, okay, you are not using this or you are not using that. So you just teach them or guide them, that how they can use AI for their own benefit, for their good, not for their bad. I hope I might answer your question, Alicia. Nompendazo. Am I pronouncing it right? The last name is Nomtendazo. I think you have raised your hand. If you have any question, you can ask. And I'm so sorry for my pronunciation, please.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I am.
Oh, okay. All right. Good evening to everyone. Okay, my question is that, seeing that the technology it's very going very high. So my question is that, like because of these kids that are not financially well, like they can't access all these platforms. And then there's kids that they are not physically capable, you know, and the
Mm-hmm.
kids that are not mentally, like capable, you have those autistic kids and so on. So do we capacitate them equally, or maybe, you know, we're only focusing on these ones that can, that can catch up with us, or, that's my concern. I'm not posing the question like specifically to you, but I'm just generalizing that are we only looking at the ones that are able to use these platforms, or is it a general, assistance to every kid, regardless of, financially, like not affording, or maybe physically having a problem, or, yeah, that's my question.
Yes, you have talked about students, those who have disabilities, or maybe they are challenged by different learning disabilities. Like we
Mm-hmm.
have dyslexic students, we have autistic students. So yes, we do have, technology is, you can use the technology in a good or a bad way. So we have so much, like so many kinds of technology, so many types of technologies that is very helpful for such kind of students. So not maybe in a regular school, the yes, we are working on that part, that okay, we need inclusive classrooms in the mainstream education system, but yet we are away far from that kind of concept. But there are different, NGOs, those who are working in a way for such kind of students, and
Okay.
they have such kind of technological use for
Okay.
like text to speech, like those who
Mm-hmm.
are auditory learners, like those who just listen maybe, or listen and speak. So they
Mm.
have such kind of technologies for that. Some
Oh,
tools, like they have dictation tools, those who can just repeat and repeat, like for
okay.
plenty of times. If a student
Okay.
wants to, need special attention for a specific
Mm-hmm.
task, maybe a teacher might get tired, but technology cannot, application cannot. If a student
True.
learn by studying 20 times, like maybe a poem, for example. So you can just record that poem and play in front of such kind of students, those who have special needs. So if he or she listens and listens 20 times or maybe 30 times, so she will learn accordingly. So we can utilize such kind of applications and such kind of digital tools for their benefits. So it's either way. We have different, for maths, for English, for our different subjects. And then we have visual impairments and blind, students. For those, we have braille, and we have screen recorders, or maybe they just listen and they speak. So, and this is all because of technology. Or maybe they
Okay.
touch and they feel and then they learn. So this is about technology, I think. And
Okay.
those who are physically disabled, so there are alternative devices for them. There are special on-screen keyboards for them, voice control sessions. So a lot. If you are looking such kind of things, and yes, you talked about autistic. If we look at this autism spectrum, so there are so many tools, digital tools. Like I have my elder sister has his her elder son. He is autistic, and we have seen, such kind of things, and her I don't know, it's been now 15 years. She's been working with him, with his son, and he is using so many technological platforms for his son's learning and for his emotional, regulation. She uses mood meter, and then she uses Headspace. So yes, we have so many. So it's not about just for the normal being. These technologies are also, good for the challenged persons or the challenged students. It's just about the awareness that if you, like being a parent, if you have such kind of awareness that okay, my child, or maybe if you are a teacher, you have seen such kind of students in your classroom, those who have special needs, and if you highlighted such kind of needs in front of their parents, that okay, you can utilize such kind of tools for his or her training or learning maybe, so it will help. So, as I always said, if you understand things, if you learn new things, so you can spread the word with others. So it will definitely help.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Okay, hello, Miss. This is Dr. Zanab Iftikhar from Pakistan. I have a question regarding the students who are. You will most definitely have your put your input into the class. You will make them learn. You will try to make them understand what you are delivering to the students. But yet, I find it difficult sometimes as the students are getting what I'm trying to say, but they cannot communicate back. So, what can I do in that matter?
Like being a Pakistani, what one thing which I have observed, the one major thing, that we have such a big classrooms that not every student can understand what we are talking about. Like I have seen classrooms of maybe 30, 40, or 50 students in one go. So a teacher, those who have just given a slot of 30 minutes, how can you communicate everything in a way that every learner, those who have diverse needs maybe, can understand your teaching? So it is, yes, very challenging for us, very hard for us, that sometimes you need to give more time. Like in my school time, when I was in my school, so at least we have 50 students in one classrooms, and what our teachers will do, that they, if a student repeatedly doing the same mistake, so she or he, they just make a group of students, with those students, those who are intelligent, like 4 or 5 group of students, those who are easily understand, who can easily understand their concepts and everything. So our teacher used to do this kind of strategy in the classroom, that okay, in one class, after the after finishing the topic, they just make a group, and with the average student, a group of average student, and the good learners and the slow learners, they just make a group, and then they just teachers obviously know that okay, this student needs to work on this part, and this student, the other group, needs to work on that part. So they just gave us the topics, that okay, you need to teach everyone, the good one, or the, above average students are, they just gave them the topic, okay, you need to teach those students. And then I think this is the, for me, I don't know if it goes for your class or not, but for us, being a teacher, I did the same thing. And when I teach, I don't know if students will understand or not, but when the student teaches the student, they just learn automatically. I don't know how, but it works for me every time. I think
Okay,
we.
another question.
Mhm.
We are taught that we should uh, give the lecture in the native language, but
Mhm.
that is not the solution. Indeed, the student will learn much quickly and much effectively if you are giving it in your native language. but we have Urdu as our national language, we have English as our official language. So
Exactly.
how can you then make them understand Urdu and English as well? Because I cannot just rely on Pashto for their level of understanding. I am going to speak in Urdu as well. I'm going to speak in English as well. So how can I motivate that sense in the students?
Yes, and this definitely will start from the early age. That this language learning, first we need to tell them that this is only a language. And you cannot believe this. I have experienced this here in Hungary, that the whole Hungary, they do not rely on English. They focus on their own language, either on the PhD level, like their professors, their students, their teachers, everyone, their administration, they usually speaks their own language, and we are the ones who are feeling left out, that what are they talking about. And when I talk to my friends in Pakistan and everyone, so I was like, why we put so much effort on this English part, like um, as if this is our national language. It is not our national language. Our national language is Urdu. And why our schools or institutions put so much effort in this English, and we need to understand everything in English. We need to study everything in English. So it is very hard for the students. So I think from the very early age, we need to teach our students that, okay, this is just a language, and you need to use a language in a language, linguistic way, not in a way of your learning or teaching. And yes, you are right that we being Pakistani, we have different regional languages. We have different, yes, we have different kind of types of regional languages, and one national language, and then our international language. And we are totally rely on just one language, which is English, in our schools, in our institutions. And after I think high school, all of our learning is in English, and hardly I don't know when is the time I have studied Urdu. I think in my 12th grade. I don't know. So being a teacher, I primarily focus on this Urdu language, that I teach my students, even if I'm talking about science, if I'm teaching maths, whatever, but I taught them in Urdu. And I taught them that, okay, if you want to present your lesson, if you want to present your assignment or your project, you can speak Urdu. It's okay. Yes, you have to speak, you have this ability to speak English, but if you are good to go with Urdu, it's okay. You don't, language shame the student, because it is definitely kill their confidence. If you are saying, no, 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 without English, this lesson or this assignment or this project is not acceptable. So it kills its confidence, the student's confidence. So I think being a teacher, we need to encourage our languages rather than going for English. First, if a student builds his or her confidence, I think he can learn or she can learn everything in the world, like from language to technology to everything. Language is just like if you just spend some time, 3 or 4 months in a country, maybe you will start learning their language. So it's not a matter of wariness. That is from my side. I don't know what um, you people are thinking, but this is what I think, that we need. I have already experienced it, that every other country in Europe, they are focusing, like from restaurants to shopkeepers to locals to universities, they are preferring their language. So why won't we? The question is.
All right. Thank you so much, Miss Muntaha. Due to short time left, we'll have to wind up the session. Is that all right?
I'll show you. No problem.
Okay. Thank you so
If
much.
anyone has any questions, so I think
We can drop it in the group or ask you later.
okay.
Okay, thank you so much. First of all, to close the session, a heartfelt thank you to Ms. Muntaha for joining us today and sharing her knowledge so generously. Your insights and energy made the session incredibly engaging and interactive, as we can all tell. We are truly grateful to have you as part of this ever-growing platform and look forward to many more sessions with you in the future, ma'am. As we close
Thank you
today's
so much.
session, I want to sincerely thank each of you as attendees for being here and for contributing to the kind of dialogue that keeps education moving forward. There's a quote from Jose Silva that feels especially relevant here, and it goes like this: Education is the key to self-empowerment, and the more we understand how our minds work, the better we can use it to shape our lives. In many ways, that's exactly what this course is about: gaining the tools and understanding to not only teach better, but to learn better ourselves. Looking ahead, this course will continue with sessions featuring presentations, projects, and interactive activities designed to deepen your learning experience. Active engagement will be expected as part of this process, so be ready to fully participate in the exciting work to come. Best of luck to all of you as we continue this journey together, and please remember to stay active in the WhatsApp group, where we will be sharing important materials and announcements about upcoming sessions. Thank you once again for joining us today, and to all those who celebrate, wishing you a blessed and wonderful Eid. We look forward to reconnecting with you soon. Have a great day, everyone. You may leave the meeting.